which gimbal settings to use on your Mavic in order to have those smooth camera movements? In this video I will tell you the top 5 camera and sensitivity settings that you will need to change in order to have that famous cinematic look. Last week I talked about which are, in my opinion, the best camera settings to use on your Mavic Pro. And if you didn't see that video, I strongly recommend to watch that first, and here's the link. If you did see that video instead, I would love to know if you use those camera settings and if they worked for you. So please leave me a comment below and let me know. Next Thursday instead, I will have a video about how I color correct and grade my drone footage in post. So if you're interested, subscribe and don't forget to turn on the bell. But for now, let's focus on how to adjust the sensitivity of our Mavic and how to smooth the gimbal movements. Let's get started right away. So I will try to keep this very simple and easy to follow, even for someone that got his Mavic Pro just today. So on top of your screen, click on the propeller symbol and it will bring you to the main controller settings. Scroll down and go to the advanced settings. Select EXP. So the EXP menu has 3 controls: the throttle up, the rudder right, and the forward right. Originally they are all set at 0.25, but I actually leave alone the throttle up and I change the rudder right and the forward right to 0.20 in order to smooth the sensitivity of those 2 controls. Now let's go back and select sensitivity. Here we have 3 different options: attitude, brake, and your movement limit. The attitude controls how the drone will react to your inputs, and I set these at 50. The brake instead controls the drone reactivity to lack of inputs, and mine, as you can see, is set at 130. Lastly, the yaw movement limit controls the reactivity to panning movements, and I set it at 50, which is the minimum. I don't really touch the gain settings instead. And we're finally into the gimbal settings. So select the gimbal, advanced settings, and you will see that the first of these settings is the gimbal pitch speed. We want to make sure to have a very slow up and down tilt. The footage will never look very cinematic if we keep a fast pitch speed. Mine is super slow. I have it at 10. The second settings enables the gimbal to tilt up of 30 degrees. And I had this off for the first months, as you can see the propellers in the upper corners of your images. But since I like to use a letterbox, that is taking care of the problem. So the possibility to have your drone to look up and not only down, I think is very cool. So now I have it on. The gimbal pitch smoothness controls the gimbal roll-off. I set this to 15 to avoid sudden stops when pitching. That would not look very cinematic. The very last setting is enable synchronized gimbal pan follow. I keep this on as I think that it helps to get more fluid gimbal movements. Of course, all these settings, like last week camera settings, are the ones that work for me. So use these settings as a reference. Play with them, change things around, but mainly practice as much as you can. In the end, you will find your own best settings. As I said, next week I will show you how I color correct and grade my drone footage. It's a quick and very simple workflow that will help you to give your images that cinematic look we are all searching for. So if you like this video, click on that like button and leave me a comment. It just makes me feel good. And if you didn't subscribe yet to my channel, please do. Thanks for watching.